The Orphan Tsunami. It takes an underwater earthquake of magnitude 9.0 or above to generate big tsunami waves. Several events like this have already occurred on the west coast of the United States, but few people have heard about them. The evidence has only recently been found, and much of it was not in places where scientists usually look. These mega events sometimes occurred when people with a written language were not around to record them. The last event was over 300 years ago and has been called an orphan tsunami because some witnesses had no idea where it came from. The samurai in Japan kept records of crop production for hundreds of years. On January 27, 1700, they recorded huge waves along 600 miles of coastline that caused flooded fields, ruined houses, fires, and shipwrecks. Since the samurai were thousands of miles from the quake, they did not feel the shaking. To them, the big waves were a mysterious high tide. Legends in Japan refer to this flooding event also. Where did this orphan tsunami come from? Thousands of miles across the ocean, Native American myths in the Pacific Northwest provide a possible answer. Tribes from California and on up the coast to Vancouver Island have many stories that refer to a day when the earth shook and the ocean crashed, leaving villages wiped out and canoes stranded high in trees. Often the event is described as a battle between a great whale and a thunderbird. Macaw elder Helma Ward said, "The tide came in and never left. There was a whale in the river, and the people couldn't figure out how it got there." To pinpoint the date, scientists have found evidence of a magnitude 9 earthquake off the Washington coast that warped the seafloor on January 26, 1700. At the same time, a whole forest died just before the growing season began, and soil samples reveal great saltwater flooding in many coast areas. The epicenter of this earthquake was just off the coast of Washington and Oregon, where the Juan de Fuca plate pushes under the North American plate in the same manner as the Burma and India plates. The next big earthquake here will threaten 10 million people along 500 miles of coastline that includes large cities like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and Vancouver, BC. A warning system has been added off the west coast and evacuation routes established. Scientists now monitor 24 hours a day and must live within 5 minutes of their work because some coastal areas could be swallowed up in 15 minutes, and every minute of advance warning will count. The blend of myth and evidence found in the earth has brought scientists and Native Americans to share a new way of looking at the past called geomythology. Ancient stories tell us that events happened before and will happen again. Science studies the danger, while stories enrich the record and provide clues about frequency. Native Americans have developed a new interest too. Ron Brainerd, chairman of the Coos Tribal Council in Coos Bay, Oregon, asked his mother to tell the stories again, because before they didn't listen.